Charmander, do you realize we still haven't even gotten a general Nintendo Direct? The drought is still going. You're crazy. Actually, I might agree. We might actually just see a Mario Direct before the next big general Nintendo Direct. Welcome everyone, this is On Just Restart. In this video, we're going to be talking about the possibility of there being a Super Mario specific Nintendo Direct. Now, the rumor is that there's a whole bunch of Mario games coming out this year for Mario's 35th anniversary. This includes Paper Mario, a Super Mario 3D World Deluxe, and even a whole bunch of remasters for Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, Mario Sunshine, potentially more. Initially, the plan was, according to the rumor, that all these Mario games would be announced and talked about during E3. But E3 has been cancelled, even the digital plans have been cancelled, and a whole bunch of other third-party companies are backing out to have their own presentations around this time as well. I think it would have made a lot of sense to have a big Direct around the E3 time, and during this Direct, Nintendo would talk about their big 35th anniversary for Mario and all their plans with the different Mario games that could be coming out this year. But given the situation with the whole COVID-19 and how it's causing so many delays and cancellations, including E3, how Nintendo waited so long just to give us a Nintendo Direct Mini, not a general Nintendo Direct. We are still going through a drought when it comes to general Nintendo Directs. We're going through the longest drought of all time. So, things are different right now. It wouldn't shock me if Nintendo decides to hold their big mid-year presentation, the E3 Direct, later in the year. It may not end up being in the first or second week of June like I really want it to be. I want more information on Nintendo's holiday lineup. They have not given it to us. Sure, with the Nintendo Direct Mini, they did tell us a few more things. We know it's coming in May, and we even have a couple more things for the early summer, but we don't really know about the rest of the summer or the rest of the year yet. Nintendo eventually is going to have to make those announcements, but it would surprise me if Nintendo's big E3 Direct, or whatever it's going to be called, comes out a little bit later in the year. Maybe not the beginning of June, maybe the end of June or July. If this is really the case, Nintendo may need to make some announcements before this presentation to sort of tide us over until that point. Keep in mind, we don't really have anything slated for July yet or beyond. Nintendo's gonna need to make some announcements before July in order for there to be games to come out in July. Sure, there could be some shadow drops or digital releases that could come out very soon after they're actually announced. When it comes to actual retail releases, there needs to be a little bit of time beforehand before they're actually announced and dated for when they're going to be coming out. It's also possible Nintendo may just make some announcements outside of a Direct. They could just publish a trailer for another game and release it on Twitter. That's totally possible. They could give us a trailer and release date for Bravely Default 2 outside of a Nintendo Direct. That wouldn't shock me, I think that's possible. And actually, I'm sort of expecting Bravely Default 2 to come out around the July or August time period, mainly because Octopath Traveler was announced and shown off in a similar kind of fashion and ended up coming out around the same time. So I'm thinking the same will happen with Bravely Default 2. It's going to be a late summer game. Now, I'm not actually saying that they're going to announce the release date outside of a Direct. I think it may still happen in a Direct, but who knows, it's hard to say for sure. But really my point is this: the summertime period and beyond at this point is looking a little barren. After Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, there isn't really too many big exciting games coming from Nintendo on the Switch that have been announced yet. Some of you may be excited for board game compilations, but I'm not one of them. I think Nintendo's gonna have to make some other announcements to sort of fill up these summer months and beyond really soon. And for all the reasons I've been talking about, we may need to wait a little bit longer before we get the big E3 type sort of Direct this year. And if that's the case, Nintendo may need to have some other sort of presentation beforehand to give us a couple more games to fill up the lineup until that presentation is ready to announce the rest of the games to come out throughout the year. Which brings me to the point of this video. What if we get a Mario Direct before the big E3 Direct, and it announces a whole bunch of plans for the different Mario games to come out this year, and one of them helps to sort of fill up these summer months leading us into the big E3 Direct? I think that's possible. What I have in mind is for 3D World Deluxe to come out around this time. Maybe it'll be the Mario Remaster Collection instead, but I'm actually thinking the Mario Remaster Collection will come out closer to the actual anniversary for Mario, which is in September. Maybe we'll get a 3D World Deluxe or Paper Mario earlier in the year to help tide things over. Either way, Nintendo's gonna have to make an announcement soon. if the rumors are true, that's a lot of different Mario games to come out in a small little time period. They're gonna have to be spread out throughout the year, and Nintendo's gonna have to talk about all these plans really soon. There's a whole bunch of other potential announcements for Mario this year as well. We've already gotten the Mario Lego situation. Supposedly we may be nearing some sort of announcement or news on the Mario movie, and then of course there's the Nintendo Park that was initially planned to actually open this year. At some point soon, I imagine, Nintendo's gonna want to talk about all of these different things. Maybe it could happen during a big Mario Direct not too long from now. To be clear, I don't think things like the park or a Mario movie or Mario Lego will be in an actual Direct. I think they'll just save games for a Direct, but I'm just saying this because Nintendo's going to need to talk about all of these different things for the Mario anniversary really soon. I am thinking that if we do get a big Mario Direct, it would be sooner than this E3 Direct, which I am thinking may come a little bit later in the year than we would hope for it to come. And actually, if you look at the Nintendo Direct archive, so far for this year, in January we got a Pokemon Direct, then in February we got an Animal Crossing Direct, and then in March we got the Nintendo Direct Mini. Maybe we'll skip April, but it wouldn't shock me if we maybe see a Super Mario Direct in May to announce all the different plans for Mario's 35th anniversary. And maybe during this Direct, they announce a 3D World Deluxe to come out in July, maybe they talk about Paper Mario later in the year, and they also finally reveal this Mario Remaster Collection that we're all hoping is real. Or at least I am. I love the 3D Mario games, and if they're all getting remastered, that would just be absolutely divine. Anyway, it just seems that Nintendo's finding ways to sort of tide us over with other smaller announcements than a big general Nintendo Direct. I mentioned the Pokemon Direct and the Animal Crossing Direct, but we also got the Smash presentation, and we're supposed to get another Smash presentation in June for the ARMS character. So it wouldn't shock me if maybe in April or May we get the Mario Direct, then in early June we get this sort of ARMS presentation for Smash Brothers, and then perhaps late June or early July, that's when we get the mid-year Direct to sort of tell us about the rest of the year. And that Direct will finally end this drought of general Nintendo Directs, and it will be a big one. And actually, if you think about it, the Nintendo Direct Mini was like 28 minutes long. It was a pretty long Direct. It just didn't have any big announcements for Nintendo for the rest of the year, but there was a lot of really cool smaller stuff to come out in the near future. Maybe there won't be a Mario Direct, maybe this big E3 Direct will still happen around the time of E3, even though E3 is cancelled, and everything's just gonna work the way it has been. But again, I'll say that the summertime months right now are looking pretty barren, and Nintendo needs to sort of announce some things in advance in order to fill up that time of the year. So maybe a Mario Direct will be what Nintendo uses to sort of fill up the summer months a little bit until we get that big E3 Direct sort of presentation to fill up the rest of the year in terms of announcements. That's what I'm thinking is at least possible. I think it could happen, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, everyone, this is On Just Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If we could be seeing a Mario Direct, I'm really curious what you guys think. But that's all for now. Thank you so much. I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.